Alright guys, welcome to the Cozy Corner. If you're watching this by this time, you probably know the drill. We're playing for the best versions I can find of the Sonic games. So, I'm using the Sega Genesis and Mega Drive collection here to play through Sonic 3. But this isn't just regular Sonic 3, this is a mod called Sonic 3 Complete, which you can find online and also in the Steam Workshop. This is great because it allows you to do pretty much anything you want with the game. If you want to use Sonic 3 music, instead of Sonic and Knuckles music, go ahead. I turn on what's listed as the original level order, so don't get confused by that. Originally, Flying Battery was intended to come after Carnival, but before Ice Cap. And this sets it up with that and makes a couple little changes to accommodate that. And there's all kinds of quality of life improvements here with Sonic 3 Complete, and I'll probably talk about them more as we come to them. But this is definitely my favorite Sonic game, and this is just an even more fun way to play it. As you can see, I was doing a little practice run. But let's get to the real thing. So, the longest levels during this playthrough are probably going to be Angel Island, Hydrocity City, Hydrocity Zone, and Mushroom Hill. That's because I'm aiming to get Supersonic and Hypersonic as quickly as possible. So, before the end of the Sonic 3 levels, we want to get 7 Chaos Emeralds. And you do that by going to these giant rings throughout the game. Let me demonstrate something I added in with this Sonic 3 Complete. By pressing up and jump in the air, you can control Tails and force him to go into flight mode, so you have a lot more control over him than you would in the base game. I've also added the Super Peel Out from Sonic CD because why shouldn't Sonic have his own unique movement tech? It's fun. And actually pretty helpful in a certain couple areas. Ice Cap Zone, I found it very useful. So yes, going for these giant rings, and we're going to be playing the best special stage game, Blue Sphere. Blue Sphere is better than the Labyrinths in Sonic 1, and it's better than the Half Pipe in Sonic 2. I can see how some people might prefer the high-speed antics of Sonic CD's UFO chase, but I personally find Blue Sphere the most fun because it starts out slow and then speeds up, so it gives you an opportunity to figure out the level layout and the sort of gimmick they go for in that stage, and then it's more of a high-speed puzzle after that. I really enjoy it. Actually, there's a reason you can play Blue Sphere on its own, and that's because it's pretty good, actually. It would have made a fine puzzle game release, I think. Though, of course, these first couple ones are not too complicated. This one's obviously that lets you get used to the game. One of the most important things being that if you make a square around a bunch of blue orbs and it like fills the square, everything inside of it turns into rings. And that allows you to get rid of some red spears and also save you time, so you deal with things at a lower speed. Though I'm not positive how the speed up works, if it's time passed, or number of steps taken, or how many blue spheres you've gotten. I'm not quite sure about that. I never quite figured it out. I was looking out for it, but I wasn't sure. I was starting to think it was just time, because I felt like I could get to the same sections, because that'd also be less steps. And at the postmarks, they don't have Chaos Emerald chances, but they have a lot of bonus games that help you get rings, or the Elemental Shields, which Sonic 3 is pretty well known for. And they don't steal your rings, so they're actually pretty useful. And they're kind of, some of them are pretty fun. This is probably the first time I played through the game and actually understood how to play the glowing sphere game. Like, I didn't really do bonus games enough before to get used to it, but like I actually figured out how you're supposed to do this. And that there's actual bonuses in it. Like I think I usually lose it so quickly that I never notice all the bubbles and items you can get from it. Okay, this is a pretty good glowing sphere around here. I think this is farther than most people ever go. I think I'm about to lose it here, though. There we go. I always like the transition here in Angel Island because it's before the second act even. The level changes. Also, we got the Sonic 3 mini-boss music, which works so much better with the way that works. Come on! Love that. A lot of people like a lot of the miscellaneous, like non-stage music from Sonic 3. And not to say the stage music is bad, but like in comparison to the things that change when you're playing the locked-on cartridge, which always defaults to Sonic and Knuckles. That's why I kind of like Sonic 3 Complete. You can decide that as you want. So I actually played for the Sonic 3 levels with the Sonic 3 soundtrack, and then switch it to Sonic and Knuckles for the second half. So you get the best of both worlds. I don't know if there's like limitations that force them to only use one of them when they're connected or what. I mean, lock-on technology should have had infinite potential. We should have just kept locking on games. Every game should have been a lock-on. So I think the gimmick in this level is that, like, they're trying to force you to recognize the, squaring around the sphere, squaring the circle to get rings, because it's easier to, because if you go through all of them normally, I think you'd be stuck with, like, a row of 3 reds. You'd fail in that case, I think, right? Well, maybe not, but it would be a much harder turn to make when they have 2 of these in a row. There's my favorite shield. You get a double jump, which is awesome. And then when you're supersonic, you still have the ring magnetism, which allows you to keep it longer. So it's pretty much the best shield. I mean, I guess some people might say, well, the water shield because you don't drown. But, that's what makes the water levels fun, so why would you? I mean, I take what I get as I'm playing, but, like, if you're dependent on the water shield, you ain't playing right. Fire shield's pretty cool, but like the bounce off from doing that attack usually ends up if you're doing less hits than you would on a normal jump. Because usually you can bounce off a little and come back and do a second hit. So, well, yeah, like 7.5 minutes about for the first level, but that's also doing 2 special stages. And there are 2 giant rings in Act 1 and 2 giant rings in Act 2, at least that Sonic can reach. So you can get a max of 4 Chaos Emeralds in the first level. So it's not Emerald Hill exactly, which, you know, has its name for a reason. It's green, and you can get all the emeralds there. But I don't know if they really intended for you to get all the Chaos Emeralds in one run for Emerald Hill. Because they give you more than you need in posts. So, like, figured they would make it exactly 7 if it was completely intentional. This is actually a pretty easy one. Unless you, like, can't handle turning around these bouncer spheres. I guess that's the idea for this stage, is really introduce those as an obstacle. And here we go. Sonic got a Chaos Emerald. There's our water shield. The bounce is pretty nice on the water shield. Bonus stage! I just fall right in on that one. This is a great little chase scene. I guess you could call it a scripted event, though of course you can get hit and killed if you're not actually running, so... Well, maybe. If you're in the back and you get hit, you're probably going to pick up your rings. It's probably not going to kill you. You get watch Tails get obliterated here because he seems to have the inability to run past you. So, this is a great boss where if you're overeager, you can kill yourself. I don't feel like doing that. Sorry, I've already spent, you know, almost 15 minutes. Well, I guess I loaded up the game, like 13 minutes or so before the stage. Like, comes to an end, so am I really in a hurry here? There we go. And the capsules here float on in. Well, some of them float on in, which I think is pretty cool. Get some flickies and some cuckies. And old Knuckles here to fuck shit up. Look at the little scamp.